Overnight, Israel carrying out Operation Rising Lion, a large-scale attack across Iran, focusing on nuclear facilities, missile sites, and its top military leaders.
3 senior Iranian military officials, along with 6 scientists associated with Tehran's nuclear program, have been killed in the strikes. For more on this, let's welcome in retired U.S. Army National Guard Major General and former FBI and DEA Task Force agent John King, along with former National Security Council Chief of Staff Fred Fleitz. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
Good morning.
General, I'd like to get your initial reaction to these strikes because they seem to be characterized as very masterful in the way Israel carried them out and very strategic and targeted.
Absolutely. I mean, this is absolutely the signature of the IDF. They're absolutely professional. Their targets were very specific to minimize, additional casualties. They were very targeted for a specific purpose to take out the Iranians' ability to threaten not only Israel but the region, to include our troops and our embassies in the region.
Yeah, Fred, you and I obviously served in the first White House. You were Chief of Staff to the National Security Council. The President has called the National Security Council to an 11 a.m. meeting in the Situation Room. All right, you're in your old job. What are you doing to get ready, and what's going to happen in that meeting this morning?
Well, I think that they'll be looking at what exactly happened here. And look, Iran was clearly caught off guard. First of all, Israel misled it as to when it would attack. But more important, Iran for decades has used the participation in some kind of peace talks or negotiations and dragging them out to protect itself against attacks. And that didn't work here. And I think the Iranians were stunned. Trump is going to want to know, what will Iran's retaliation be? And the expectation is that Iran is going to fire missiles, but Israel's attacking the missiles also. Missile launch sites, missile storage sites. Most of Iran's missiles are liquid fueled, which means they can't just be fired. You have to roll them out. You have to fuel them before they are fired. And Israel's looking for that and will destroy every one of them on the ground.
General, what do you make of Mossad's covert operations within Iran that help facilitate this attack? It's similar to what we saw with Russia, with Ukraine's attack on Russia's strategic bomber fleet.
Intelligence is the cornerstone of any successful operation. The Mossad they're absolutely the best. They're determined. They're relentless. This took years to plan and moments to execute. But the Iranians miscalculated. President Trump clearly told them that they needed to negotiate and did everything. So they have plenty of warnings, and they decided to go down this path. And so there's no surprise to any of us with this outcome. The Israelis are not going to compromise the safety of their nation, and they're executed it brilliantly, like many other operations that Mossad or the IDF have executed.
Yeah, Fred, here's the thing. We've seen Iran directly attack Israel at least 3 times in the last 6 months. Obviously, they used what was their proxy organizations, Hamas and Hezbollah. They're all gone and none of it's working. Iran seems to be weak and on an island of its own right now.
That's exactly right. And it's widely believed that one thing that has always kept Israel from conducting an attack like this was the fear that Hezbollah would conduct a massive rocket attack in northern Israel and send troops across the border. Well, Hezbollah has been basically destroyed. It actually said overnight it is staying out of this fight. And Israel knew that. Israel has destroyed or greatly weakened Iran's proxies, and it is focused on this nuclear program, which is capable of making quite a few nuclear weapons, as we heard from Netanyahu last night. I think he said that Iran could fuel 9 or 10 nuclear weapons right now, and I've seen intelligence that it could enrich enough uranium for 17 weapons in 4 months. So this was the time to strike.
Thank you, Major General John F. King and Fred Fleitz. Appreciate those insights.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.